We have conquered humanity. Finally becomes the Scythe. Citra. Citra? No, Anastasia. Damn it! There's so many people to keep track of. This book is a short story collection. How did I not know that? How did I not know that? I don't know. Scythe by Neal Shusterman. So, before I even start talking about the book, this word, I know it's pronounced Scythe, but because of the way it's written, I want to say Scythe. Which, when reading the book, do you know how many times this word's come up? This word is probably called, we see this word like 50 times a page or something, not actually, but a lot, so many times. And every single time, so it's usually like Faraday, also, Faraday, not Dale, Faraday. Usually, before the name of the site, it's Scythe something something. So this word comes up a lot, and every single time I kept wanting to read it as Scythe. So annoying when there's a word like that that's not actually pronounced the way it's written. So many words like that as well. And names, especially names. How dare you? I'm joking, I don't care. Well, annoying, but yeah, it's fine. So, rant over, about the book. So, we are in a future world-ish. And in this world, we have conquered humanity. There is no diseases, no, what more was it? No war, no misery. Yeah, basically humanity has conquered everything. So people still die though, because people need to die. So the only way to die really is to be killed by a Scythe. So you can, theoretically, you can go commit suicide, but usually you are taken to a revival clinic and they will revive you, and in a couple of days you will be brand new and just walking about just as before you splatted yourself. That's kind of the word that's used a lot, splat themselves. Basically when you unalive yourself. Yeah. So, Scythes. There are a lot of Scythes in the world, and their mission in life is basically to, well, they are the harbinger of death, I want to say. They're basically death walking around, but yeah. Some would say they are gods. Yeah, but sure. So, to bring it all back. So we have two kids that we follow. They are teens. Citra and Rowan. I believe Citra is pronounced that way. I'm not sure, but we're going with it. And they are like handpicked by a Scythe to become apprentice. So they start learning the art of being a Scythe, really. And yeah, that's basically it. However, trouble arrives. So basically, this Scythe that they are apprenticed to, he unalives himself. What was the word for it again? He does the self-gleaning thing, which is basically a Scythe privilege to do. If you think you're finished with your purpose or whatever, you are allowed to go glean yourself. Anyway, he does that, and basically Citra and Rowan now end up with two different Scythes, who know, one each that is, who have vastly different approaches to being a Scythe and that whole, well, the whole purpose of it. So basically, bear with me. Citra ends up with a proper one. She ends up with someone who actually used to be apprenticed to Faraday, which was the apprentice that gleaned himself. She has the right idea, basically. She's kind of violent in her way of approaching things, but she has like proper ideas, at least compared to the other guy that Rowan ends up with. He is what you would call a killer, a pure blood killer, and basically because he's a Scythe, he's just allowed to go kill people because that's just the way he goes. But it's not called killing. He's not a murderer because no, he is a Scythe, so it's gleaning. And also, as a Scythe, you're supposed to glean a certain number of people every year, so he's just doing God's work, he feels. But basically, were it reality, he would be a serial killer. Yeah. So that's where Rowan ends up. Very nice. Yeah. Basic gist of it all. The story does evolve, and there's trouble abrew and loads of things, and Citra mainly, she needs to go clean her name, basically. So she goes on a little trip because some people are out to get her for reasons that you need to read the book to find out. Honestly though, I really enjoyed this book. I know a lot of people have said this book is very good, and I agree. It's tremendous. It's fantastic. And I know also people that's read the rest of the series, they've gone on to like lose interest in it. So I'm curious to see if I'm gonna do that as well, and what it is that happens in the next books that are maybe not as great as it were as book one. Although, just having read this so far, I feel like it could definitely stand as a standalone and have it be like an open-ended kind of a deal. You kind of know what's going on in the end. You get you get a little, not spoilers, but basically it's this has happened, and then you have to like make up your own mind if it's the people involved that you think are involved in the whole thing, the whole shenanigans, as it were. Bloody loved it. I'm very curious to pick up the next book, so I'm gonna go do that now. See you in a bit. Book number 2, the Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman. So this is definitely gonna be some spoilery bits for book 1, so sorry. But I'm gonna try to do it as spoiler free as I can, but still, gonna be minor spoilers, kind of. So, our main girl is Citra from book 1. In book 1, she is an apprentice to become a Scythe. And in this one, she is a Scythe, because that's what happens in the end of the book. Surprise! So now well, she did in the end of book 1. She chose her Scythe name and stuff. So her name is now Scythe Anastasia, one of them. I guess both of them, depending on how you want to pronounce it. But Anastasia. But she's still very much Citra at sometimes. But she kind of goes through things and finally becomes the Scythe Citra. Citra? No, Anastasia. Damn it. Anyway, basically, well, let's pause that for a minute. So, and then we have Rowan. What's the other word for girly that's a boy? Our main dude, who, I mean, he went to the very bad kind of sites in book 1 and was trained that way, and then ends up killing all of them, to then become he doesn't get chosen to be an official Scythe, but he starts becoming Scythe Lucifer. He's basically going around town, going around the world, killing Scythes that are, well, like the bad ones, the ones that are more like what we would call like serial killers, than, you know, Scythes, which is the one. How do I explain this? So, I mean, the concept of Scythedom is to glean persons every now and again, because people can now become immortal, so they can just live forever, basically, unless they are gleaned, as is. So, it's population control, you could say. Yeah. So, we also get a different person in this book. We get a different point of view, a third main character, I guess. Well, fourth technically, because Thunderhead, the iCloud thing, is the third character. Let's say that's the third main character. So, or is he the first? He, they, because they're not gendered, but for some reason I think they're male. I don't know. It just feels that way. I don't know. Anyway, we get a fourth perspective, and this is a person who comes from a family that's basically kind of, what was the word for it? It was like a serial family kind of a deal. Basically, his mum and dad have started families several times, and then, I mean, basically they make babies and then they go make other babies and just leave the babies to someone. In this case, Thunderhead. So I don't remember his name. What was his name? Does it say? No, maybe, I don't know. That dude, he's basically been raised by Thunderhead, among a lot of people. In a way. Am I making sense? Probably not. No. Anyway, he kind of goes on this whole, gonna become one of the I don't know, cleaners, I guess. One of the people that works for Thunderhead, basically. That's the direct contact between Thunderhead and Scythe, because Scythe aren't allowed to talk to Thunderhead directly. So it's that whole, there's so many people to keep track of. Anyway, so we have like the main person, like the head of the Scythe, the head of the Scythe, let's call it that. So that main dude, he's about to retire, self-glean as it were, but before he can do that, he needs to, you know, make sure that someone can take his place. Apparently that's how that works, so yeah. And people are nominated, amongst other is the Scythe that Citra apprenticed to. What was the name of it? Marie Curie, Scythe Curie. Where was I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Scythe Curie is nominated to become one of the well, to replace the big man. What? Oh no, I've lost my marbles again. Did I ever have any? No. Anyway, so there's intrigue and stuff, as well as a character we thought were dead comes back, but not in the way you think. Whatever that may be. But so we have someone we don't like coming back and wreaking havoc. Yeah, which is a bit annoying. I didn't like him. And I feel the way he enters back into the picture is a bit like, oh, what the hell? He was dead. Can he stay dead? Why did you have to go do that. Damn it. Anyway, so far, I did enjoy this book, but I wonder, I mean, I need to read book 3 and 4 as well, but I do wonder if maybe it should have been a standalone. Yes, Oliver, it should have, oh my god, he's gone crazy. Maybe it should have been a standalone and had that like open-ended kind of ending where you kind of know what's going on in the future, but you don't need to know everything that's going on. So that's kind of where my thoughts are for the moment, although I did enjoy it, but still, maybe just a standalone. We'll see what book 3 and 4 gives us, but that's my thought for now. I almost said final book, but it's not. There's one more. So the third book in the Scythe series, and it's a chunky boy. I mean, they're all kind of chunky boys, let's be honest. Anyway, so third book. I don't even know where to begin, because I feel like this book definitely is like, things are blowing up, if we've got to put it like that. Things are kind of blowing up, and it's like, what is this anymore? What is it? So there was a character we got introduced to in the last book, and I was like, why are we getting this random character now? Turns out he's like a pivotal character in this one, because he's the Toll. Yeah, so basically the Toll is, he was one of the children who was raised by the Thunderhead, and he seems to be a good favorite because now he seems to be the only connection people have to the Thunderhead. Basically the Thunderhead is speaking directly to him, and he's able to like talk to the people. So many things. I mean, he goes through a lot, that character. He gets kidnapped, he gets, I mean, I don't even know anymore. And then, so we had a bad guy in the first book, and it was like, yes, thank you, he's dead and gone. No, he was resurrected. Of course he was resurrected. Like, he burnt up, but apparently now he's back. And he's still here for this one. He's still here for this one? Yes, he is here for this one. What is this accent? But no, so we had this bad character in book 1, and he was like dead, burnt, I don't know. He was very much not here. But no, he got resurrected, didn't he? Didn't he just get resurrected? I was like, leave him alone. Actually, don't, well, he deserves to suffer, but the other characters who suffers because of his resurrection, leave them alone. Anyway, so basically he's still the big bad, the resurrected big bad in a new body, because that's just how things work in this world. And we have, what were their names again? Citra and Rowan. So they're still kind of our main dudes and dudettes. But they've gone missing, so we don't see a whole lot of them. But they're there. They are there. Mostly it's this cult following called the Tone. That's the cult and the Toll. The Tone and the Toll. Basically, we see most of them, and yeah, really though, I don't know what this book was. There's so many things. I mean, I did enjoy it. I'm not gonna say that, but there's so many things, and I'm wondering if it's strictly necessary. I feel like book 1 was like a masterpiece, and now we're getting some weird revivals of book 1, but it's not revivals, it's a continuation. But do we need them? I don't know. I do want to see what the 4th book brings, because I do think it's the last one, and also this book was not finished. there needs to be more. There needs to be answers to all the questions. Yes. Well, there's so many things. So many things. I do kind of understand now why people like love the first book and then just kind of dips down after. I do get it. And it's not because it's badly written or not entertaining enough. It's just that I feel like we got so much with that first book that all the other ones, they're not giving us much. But I'm still intrigued. So it's like, where do we go from here? I don't know. This driving me crazy. Anyway, I'll see you when I finish book number 4. Yeah, I'll just see you later. So, turned out, the third book, The Toll, was actually the last book, and that was supposed to be an ending. What? Honestly, what? No, I feel like something's missing from it. So, the reason why I'm saying it is because Gleanings, the 4th book, and for what I know, the last book, no more books in this series. This book is a short story collection. How did I not know that? How did I not know that? I don't know. I honestly don't know. So, to, I guess, summarize this book, it's a bunch of short stories. Like, some of them you get kind of an explanation for some things that happen in the trilogy, as in, this is how this character came to be this character, and so on and so forth. I guess fun times, this is just mainly for the fans who want like that bit of extra content, because I don't feel like anything in this book actually, I needed that information from these short stories to understand the trilogy better, or the characters in the trilogy. So basically, it's an added content kind of a book. So, because of all that, I'm going to put this down. To summarize the series, I'll take all 4 books into account. So, first one, brilliant. We get this whole, like, the world view where we've conquered humanity. Basically, there's no illness, there's no sickness, there's no war, there's no nothing. Basically, you just get everything you need and that's it. But there's still this element of fear, because even though you could be resetting your timeline every now and again to, you know, stay young forever or whatever, you still have that element of fear that you could be gleaned by the Scythes. So you could, as it were, disappear forever. Because there's these characters in the trilogy, mainly in the first book, that you see they go splat themselves a lot, just because, you know, to get attention or whatnot. But if we were to do that, like, in our real life, if we were to, like, splat ourselves, we would be no more. There's no coming back from that. Whereas in this book, in this series, we can relive, as it were. We can come back. I was trying to think of the right word, but I couldn't think of it. So, book 1, I definitely still think that book 1 could just stand as a standalone. And, like, if you are semi-interested in this series, but not like, I don't want to read all the books, just read book 1. And yes, it kind of ends on there could be more books as the armor books, but it also, like, you could just have that open-ended ending and just have it be that. So I think book 1, brilliant, yes. And then we kind of go downhill. Not that it's inherently bad, it's not, it's actually good, but it's like we are taking on too many things and trying to do too many things at once, and that's kind of what the last two books in the trilogy feel like, book 2 and 3, like the Thunderhead and the Toll. Those feel like kind of we're building up to something. We're just taking on these new missions in life and we're kind of failing at them. That's kind of what I'm getting from book 2 and 3, because I didn't feel like book 3 even had an ending. I mean, it does and it doesn't. It just leaves too many questions and you don't really got any answers for them. And so yeah, that's that. It's fine for what it is, yes. And then we have book number 4, the short story collection, Gleanings, which is basically just if you want more added bonus content, because you don't really get more from that book to complement the trilogy, as it were. Yes, we get to see these characters we've known from the trilogy in a different side, like from before the trilogy even was a thing, but we don't actually need it. I didn't feel like I needed it anyway. I still read it. I still enjoyed it. It's not bad. It's just not amazing. But book one is amazing. Yes, definitely read book 1, Scythe, and then you can just like skip the rest if you want. But book 1, definitely recommend. But read the rest if you want to. But you don't have to like get a thing from it. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I shall see you all next time. Until then, take care. Oh, bye-bye.